Okay, I want to show everyone the dash. That is so not going to work. You guys can't see that at all. So there we go. A little bit more if the camera will support it, and of course it's not going to. We're zoomed a little too much for it. Back it off just a teeny bit and it can focus. There we go. Now, multiple coats of Future went into that instrument cluster to give it that glossy look that there's a sheet of plastic in front of it. Okay, I'm about to put the steering wheel in and do a couple more tweaks to this to get it done so I can assemble the interior. This is the last stopping point from assembling the interior. Once the interior is assembled, this car is practically done. I have to polish the body. I have to fix that freaking rear tail light, and I messed up the paint on the front bumper a teeny bit. And I have to fix that. Those are easy fixes. That's called being very careful, and you'll get the paint fixed. Alright? So, let me do this. I'll be back in a little bit. By the way, I told you guys I had to glue it. I'd torn it apart to light it. Well, there's my repair. Good old Aves. Alright? Good old Aves. And again, you can see that glossy shine on that. Let me turn the lighting a little bit to give it. There we go. Just get her back in place. Can we see? Yeah, you guys can see it. It really looks nice. Alright, everyone. I'll be back in a little bit. Let me zoom this back. Ooh, wrong way. You think I would know which way the zoom on this camera works by now, wouldn't you? You would think. Alright, everyone. I seem to have those things permanently fixed to my head while I'm working on this Honda. And the lighting right here is just not the best. There we go. You guys can see me better. Here's a quick tip. Alright. I'm using clamps constantly on this work. And with a painted surface like this, the clamp will mar that surface. Just take some of your tape, your masking tape you use for masking for painting, wrap it around the part, and then your dollar store clamp won't mar the paint surface. And I'm doing that because I want this part to cure up like this. I'll put that knob back on the steering wheel. I'm going to have to touch up the paint on this a teeny bit before it's ready for assembly. But by clamping it, I can get it to drop. I can position it the way I want. Another way to position things, and I was doing this yesterday, is to take a big wad, and I have it, here it is, of yellow poster tack, embed your part in this stuff, and get it in the position you want, and this will hold it there. The stuff is very sticky, and it works very well, and it is not very expensive. You can probably get this at the dollar store too. I don't know where I got it from, but poster tack. What can I say? As soon as that part cures up, I can continue on the interior. What I'm going to do is clean everything up right now and work on the Mercury 9, because until that part is cured up, and that part's going to be very delicate. It was a very small little part that broke, and yeah, since it was such a small little part that broke, you touch it, it's going to come off again. Good thing it's going to be in a sealed up car. And as long as I don't bump it while I'm sealing up the car, it'll be all good. Okay? If I bump it while I'm sealing up the car and it comes off, once the car's sealed, it's done. Alright, let me get going. I got to wait on that part to cure up, and then I can finish the interior. And just in case you guys are wondering what it looks like right now, let's get better light. Let's move the camera so there's better lighting for you guys. Because this camera angle here has much better lighting than that one. Okay, the interior tub is not glued to the car frame yet, but that's just a matter of putting the glue down. And I don't know why I haven't done it, because there's zero reason for this at this point in time. You can see the only room you'll have for doing any lighting in this car is this trunk right here. is this trunk area. There's enough room there for the circuit board I wanted to put in there for the blinking circuits. Alright? But just barely enough room. There it is. The front seats I'm going to put in last because I want to position them. And I'm waiting for that part up there to glue, because it glues to this part before you put it together. And this part sits in there like that. And then you have your completed interior tub. This is a really neat model. Very well detailed, as I'm sure some of you have noticed. I just checked the box. It's a skill level 3 model. I didn't know that Tamiya made those. Okay? I know Mobius models likes to throw skill level 3 on their models all the time. And a few others do that, but I didn't know Tamiya did. Oh, it's definitely far more detailed car model than AMT ever put out. I'm not trying to knock AMT, I'm just being honest here. I mean, the suspension in the front is the suspension on the real car. Every part is there. Yeah, I almost dropped that. You guys have seen me drop the car body many times. Anyhow, I'm just rambling. Let me get working on the Mercury 9 while we're letting this cure. I can't do anything else till all these things cure. I could polish a car body, but that's going to be the last thing I do. Ooh, just remember, there's something else I need to do on that car body. So maybe it's going to be the second to the last thing I do. Okay? I never painted the inside of the hood. The inside of the hood looks pretty cruddy. So I'm going to tape up the edges of the hood and paint the inside of the hood. It can be flat red. That's not a problem because, well, car companies never really finish the inside of the hood. Not back then they didn't. Now they might. And they usually have some sort of sound insulation under them. I don't know, my Ford Ranger doesn't. And a few other cars I've had didn't have sound insulation under the hood. I think that was back in the 70s. Alright, I'm going to get that painted. I'll be back. Alright, everyone. Here's the part that got excessive paint on it. You can't tell by looking at it, but I can tell because I know where to look. The future got a little too thick in a few spots. Better lighting and you can see it. I was pouring future in here. Got to remove the cat hairs too. I was pouring future into the reflectors so that they were nice and shiny, and well, it leaked out in a few spots. No biggie. In fact, I think if I just tape off the reflectors, yesterday it looked far worse than this. I think if I just tape off the reflectors and give it another satin coat, she'll come out okay. I see a buildup in a few spots I don't like, and the satin coat can't hide that. So this is what I'm going to do. Future can be stripped off in 2 ways. 91% alcohol. That stuff strips dang near everything I've come across. Literally, almost everything I've come across. I know it strips lacquers. I know it strips Tamiya paints. It will strip the Tamiya spray rattle lacquer. Tamiya primer it will strip with some effort, but it'll still strip it. It takes chrome off parts. I mean, the stuff's pretty nasty. It'll take future off. The other thing that takes future off is ammonia. Now, this had a base coat of lacquer on it. I don't know if ammonia is going to touch the lacquer, but I know it'll take the future off. And if you doubt that, read the label for future. It says use ammonia to get it off floors once you put it down. So what I'm going to do is take a Q-tip with some ammonia and scrub where the future got built up a little heavily and see what that does for me. And if that does the trick, gets that buildup off there, then I can give it another satin coat and be done with it. Okay? And then this part's ready to go, in case I damage the satin coat. I don't care as long as I don't strip the gray paint. There's the ticket. And I don't touch the, not enough light. If I turn the camera, there'd be enough light. I don't touch my reflectors. my lower reflector or fog lights or whatever those things are. So let me get going on this. I'll let you know what happens back in a bit. Hello everyone, here's the end result of removing Future without ammonia. Didn't hurt the paint at all. Okay? And this is what I'm talking about. If you know your paints and you know your interactions between the paints, you can do things like this. You can strip the paint off without hurting the underlying paint. In this case, I took Future off with a Q-tip dipped in ammonia, and I didn't hurt the underlying paint in the least bit. I still see one spot where I got to remove some more Future because it got a little gummy, being a perfectionist, but it's nothing. Okay? So just keep this in mind, everyone. You get Future, an overrun with Future, and you don't like it, just take yourself some ammonia and a Q-tip, rub it on there, and you're not going to harm the paint that's underneath that Future. You're just not. Unless the paint's ammonia based, which I'd hate to see the company who tries to sell that. Future's not ammonia based. It just, I don't know what base it is. I just know it's kind of waterproof. Okay? There's a spot with some more Future on it. I just know it's kind of waterproof, and the water doesn't affect it much once it's painted on. Well, there we go. Got the part all cleaned up. It's now ready to put on the car. I just noticed one thing too. The paint call doesn't say it, but if you look right in the center, there's a little H. So I'm going to get out my Optivisor, and I'm going to paint that little H with some silver paint. Yeah, that's a nutty thing to do. That thing's tiny. Well, let's see if we can do it. If I can't, I just paint it over with the tan again. I mean, the gray again. So, I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, everyone. I think I got my brush painting mojo back with this car. Because that H came out fairly good. To the naked eye, it's perfect. Okay? Yeah, naked eye, it's perfect. Well, this part is now done. I only have a couple of things left to do, and this car's done. I'm mainly waiting on parts to dry and glue to cure and things like that, so I don't mess things up. I got some paint to touch up on this dash. It didn't glue together very nicely, so I got to fix that, but I'm going to let it cure very well before I even bother with that, because I also have some seams to deal with. No one wants a seam to deal with on the dash of their model car after having painted it multiple different colors. No one wants that. And this thing decided I should have it by not going together correctly. Well, that can be dealt with, and I will. So let me get to it. I'll be back in a little bit. Here's the near completed interior in the Honda, and I don't like a little bit of it. Right along there, there's some glue marks. And right here, there are some bad spots. And I'm going to get all those fixed up, and it won't take too much. And right there are some bad spots too, and I'm going to get that fixed. Other than that, it's pretty much in good shape. I just need to get those couple of spots fixed to be truly happy with it. Once those spots are fixed, then I can go ahead and put the seats in. But I'm not going to put the seats in until I get in there and get that fixed. Okay? And I see a teeny spot right there that needs a little bit of black, and that's easy enough to deal with. And a couple of spots here and there that need touching up. Once I get that done, then again I put the seats in, and then we're going to be in a holding pattern for a bit because I'm waiting for something to come in the mail. Okay? But she is very, very, very near done. And I'll be back to show you my results from this.